to tonight's special report and a look at the worsening crisis in our waste industry after China stopped taking foreign garbage. Before the ban, Australia was exporting 1.25 million tonnes to China annually. Now waste is piling up or being sold to other countries at much lower prices. That's put recycling programs around the country on the brink of collapse. Some state governments have stepped in with millions of dollars to keep services running. But over the long term, it will take a whole new approach to packaging that businesses and politicians are struggling to grapple with. Finance correspondent Philip Lasker reports.
The conveyor belts are still running and forklifts are still working, but prices for the products they carry have crashed 30%, all because China, formerly the world's biggest customer, is no longer in the market.
We need to start reprocessing some of this material onshore and not relying on potentially volatile export markets.
And that means ramping up demand from governments and local businesses.
The manufacturers of that food-grade packaging, which is what ends up in the yellow bin, are not taking that product back as readily as we want or as much as we want.
Where it says trade.
The organisation representing the manufacturing giants has come up with a new, more specific labelling system aimed at encouraging consumers to recycle and industry to design recyclable packaging.
It's a great program because it really enables consumers to understand what they have to do.
Much of the packaging we see on our shelves, the paper, the plastic, it's all recyclable, but very little of it is made from recycled material. Some big players are coy about their use of recycled content and cautious about future commitments.
They need reliability of recycled content. We need certainty, we need guarantee. And certainly, you know, the industry has always recognised that it's got a responsibility.
On average, PepsiCo used the most recycled material and had the most ambitious future target. Others averaged a usage rate from 24% to at least 50%. Nestlé and Unilever were at the other end of the scale. Gail Sloan says it's all happening much too slowly.
The European Union has said, you are going to use recycled content. Australia needs to do the same.
Asahi and Coca-Cola Amatil make some bottles from fully recycled materials, as does Coles.
Coles produces bottled water, and we're the only private label that uses 100% recycled plastic.
This water bottle is made from recycled plastic.
Okay.
Do you think that's a good thing?
Yes, that's a good thing, and even I buy this sort of bottle.
Would you pay more for that?
Yeah, I probably would, yeah.
Why is that?
Because I want to help the earth.
One way or another, consumers will pay because the cost equation has reversed. Recyclers used to pay to collect waste from the recycle bin. Now some councils will have to pay them to collect it. That means some households will be hit with higher waste collection charges.
We're talking about $1 a week change in your rate.
China's ban has exposed Australia's failure to develop a comprehensive recycling economy, and that risks damaging confidence in the industry to a point where households say, why bother? State and federal governments have made the use of recycled material voluntary, and Tim Yue in Perth says governments are among the worst offenders.
Our state government requires local government to divert a 65% diversion from landfill rate, but it doesn't have that requirement of its own state departments.
State and federal environment ministers meet this month, and recyclers want better labelling, a fund for research and development, as well as mandated public and private sector targets for the use of recycled materials.
It's a 12-month transition period, potentially in the short term, with some financial assistance, with a big picture view to actually transition Australia over the next 5 to 10 years.
An opportunity to use more waste, or a wasted opportunity? Philip Lasker, ABC News.